Good morning, friends, my viewers. How are you? I hope you are well. And welcome to the Wise One channel. I'm your host, Caren. Today is Juneteenth. Do you guys know what that is? I feel like such a loss. The fact that, to me, it's a recent understanding of Juneteenth. It was back in the day, they emancipated slavery. But it wasn't until a Union soldier told the slaves, the ex-slaves, about it, that these people who were working under slavery knew that they were free. They didn't know they were free until somebody told them. The people that had been illegally owning them up until June 19th didn't tell them. Oh yeah, we went to a big old meeting and now it's, illegal to own you. You are now free. And it didn't quite end slavery, because slavery with a different name and a different face continued, unfortunately. But a lot of the slaves were finally like, wait a minute, you don't own me. I can leave. So they were finally understanding their own freedom. They were finally informed about their freedom. So they call it Juneteenth. And it's been going on for how long? And we finally get it to be a national holiday. I think we're gypped. We could be helping our friends celebrate the fact that all the people we know, you know, could you imagine being able to go to a barbecue with somebody for this holiday? They got the best barbecues. And you know it. They got the best, when they celebrate, they got some of the best events. It's just, they got fireworks, they got all. I don't know, we could be having fun with our friends. Like, dude. We need to quit screwing over our friends. We need to quit screwing over people. We need to be inclusive. I'm going to preach it. And then when I'm not preaching, I'm going to be talking about the fact that inclusivity, equality, quit screwing people over. Just because you're scared. I'm going to reflect on my life. Am I screwing people over because I just don't like them? Because honestly, if this is the result of people being screwed, this is not fair. We'll figure it out. We'll get it right. We're on our way. Sure, it takes us forever and a day, but we'll get it right. So to all those, and on our Juneteenth, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I hope you have loads of fun. I hope that you get everything you want out of the day that you can get. And I am sorry, because it is hurtful that it took till now to be a national holiday. I feel that's just I feel judgy. Like that ain't right. How can we celebrate equally with people if we are on a low-end quality of character. Mm-mm. It presents that they are bettas. And the whole point is, I don't want they versus us. It's we. We all. Those are better. It's the better part of our culture, our American culture. America, we better start owning up, taking accountability. We got greatness. We've been great long before somebody was trying to make us great again. Somewhere we got greatness. I'm telling you, somewhere we've got greatness. We've got atrocities and everything else. But, we're this huge country. So now that I think about it, it is on a disproportionate map. We gotta get those one proportionately accurate maps of the globe. Still, it's a big landmass, and we have lots of states in it. So let's step up. Let's just be the year that we step up, because now and never, I love us all. But yeah. So I'm still working on this blanket. My gosh, I think barbecues and celebrations and fireworks. People having fun. So yeah. So if you profited off of slavery way back then, it shows that hereditarily, now the descendants are one of the poorest people in our nation, not just the ones that were owned as slaves, but the ones that were slave owners, because it's not a profitable, and the way it scars our economics and our social interactions, this whole our community, our global effects of people. We're an organism, social organism. Sort of like you got the microbiome in your gut. We're like this microbiome on the planet. If the planet is at war, if we're at war on the planet suffers. The planet is dying, which feeds us good food, so it's clean air. And if we're screwed up, the air turns nasty, and the whole sludge on the waterways, that's like her blood flows. Yeah. I'm trying to fix my cake. Oh, let's get. What am I doing here? What is this? Intriguing. Okay, let's go on in. I did like so many stitches and trying to get like straight edge. So I'm on another row that I'm doing single stitches on. And then with my acrylic yarn from Lion's brand, Mandela packs, bonus packs, and just the Mandela cake. So yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to stay home and save gas and pay bills. How to live within my means. I don't have any means, so that's like living, not living. Ay, stress. Oh, this is pretty though. I like this blonde. Beige, blonde, long, white burnt. Oh yeah, it's just I kept doing this like row of single stitches and then incrementally row of doubles every other stitch going into the stitch and then a half double on top of that back into single stitches and then neck counting. So my edges are all screwed up on this blanket and these just are gorgeous. The gorgeous colors. So if this is a pattern already out there, I didn't know. This made sense to me. This is what I started doing. So I believe you can leave comments section. I'm gonna have to look at the podcast and see from the viewer's point of view of podcasts how podcasts work. I'll just click buttons, and then the more I associate, the more I interact and have these experiences, the more fully understanding I am of something. Sometimes I have to build more associations. I'm learning like I can't read tires. I'm uh, so I have to find a junkyard tire. My tire on the one on the driver's side front is bolt. The other tires are not. So that tells me that my front end is bad of my vehicle. And I can't quite fix that yet. It used to be you can get a job, pay bills, and maybe they picked up a second job or picked up another person in the income in the household would pick up an income. You used to be able to pay your shelter fees, whether it was rent or house payments or whatever, and then buy groceries, spend a certain amount on your groceries, and spend a certain amount on your utilities, and then transportation, emergency funds. But that's dying out. Also, the distribution of cost has started to spread out. We used to have the middleman. Now we have everybody independently. They're working from home or they're working independently. So instead of paying for corporations, we're paying for these cute little fees here and these cute little fees there, and they all add up. And instead of just for like cable, we're paying for different streams. We're paying for different like your Hulu, your Netflix, your Prime, all these other ones, Tubies if you can get free. Um, your entertainment. I mean, so your entertainment is a different expense. And then I found out if you don't afford entertainment, um, how it drives people over the edge. Mm. So I'm trying to find out how to get more enjoyment out of free entertainment and things like that. And they figured out all these little costs. So now cost plan has differed. And the way people eat or go out to eat differs. So I'd love to study the economics of other countries to figure out, like China, like most people go out to eat and they, some people, some people depend on it. Like they don't cook at home. That's just them. But I mean, so I've been figuring out how to not go out to eat. So if we're out and about, we get these drinks. And then my youngest, I found out, is turning into a shopaholic when they're stressed out and they've had a particularly stressful day and a bunch of no's. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. Mommy and daddy are tired. Mommy and daddy are pooped. We're out of, spoons. Um, we learned that she wants to go shopping. And we used to shop a little bit here and there. We used to have more money. I used to work outside the home, but with my it led to a lot of burnout that I wasn't recognizing. I was pushing myself like, oh, this is perfectly human, capable. This human can do it, so therefore I can do it. I'm human and I'm capable. I can't do it that way. I have to do it differently. And that's why I want to be on here. And that's why with my YouTube, I want with the YouTube Work Clear channel, I want lots of subscribers. I only have 20, so it would be nice to do more and to be a creator. So I'm gonna have to learn more about that. But that's my main income is going to be about my priesthood and going to bring income that way. An ordained minister from the ULC church, and I've got to do more of that. I'm going to train for weddings, and I'm going to try to get it so that you can the websites where things like Fiverr and stuff like that. Fiverr website.com. Innovation like the tarot cards, making doing spells like on the weekend, doing all sorts of stuff like putting together little packets of selling like the beginner witch kit or an altar kit, um, and things like that, and doing more things like that, and then doing upcycling as a branch of that. We call it church or a hall. I'd love to call it a hall. Yeah. Love to get this all going. Arts and craftsies. Like in my head, I'm arts and craftsies, but have I physically done arts and craftsies yet? No, not in a long time. So I have to. I'm not as good at it. It really turns out where it's obvious that I'm built like an autistic person or a person who has autism. It's a big part of my identity, but I'm not. I'm a person before I'm autistic. So when you mention me as instead of mentioning me as an autistic person, a person who has autism, it's a type of linguistic uh, thing I had to learn. And it makes a big difference. The way we perceive and consider and subconsciously view our beliefs really manifest linguistically. A lot of people are nonverbal on the spectrum. But I mean, it's a spectrum. So for as many people that are designed that way, there's as many different, quirks, traits, different type of people. So the more educated or the more we go out and learn about these things, the more that we study and understand and bring to our attention and our experience, the better. And it's not just okay. So demographically, you could have be from anywhere, can be from any country, and it's from around the world. You can have traits of autism. You can be like the brains are different, the genetic mutations are different um, for people on the spectrum. And it's not more or less, it's just different. Um, I have a squirrel looking at me, probably listening because I have the window cracked open. Is it like, doo, doo, doo. He's just been running around with me, the little gray squirrel. He got himself to coax out while I was out earlier on the porch. He coaxed out the little gray guy. The little gray guy was like following behind him. He's like, yeah, let's just jump. Or she, this is the black squirrel. It's like, let's just jump across the yard and go play in the trees before we find the rest of our breakfast. And the little gray squirrel, I'm sitting there. So the little gray squirrel's like not wanting to get caught by me, by being seen by me. So I look the other way so that he can scurry along with confidence and feel like he's in his natural, because that's his house out there. That's their home. That's their yard and their food area, their food court, their all the frolicking and going to go get. Though I don't know where their water source is. I have to wonder where they go to get water around here because I make sure I don't have any standing water. We have a bird feeder. I wanted to get a bee one, but so we got all these dandelions in the back. So I don't know where the water source is, but like watching the jumping of the black squirrel and the little gray squirrel going so cute. I'm like, that's adorable. I want them to be happy. That's their home. We had a raccoon earlier, big old raccoon. I think she's gonna have babies. She's big. And then we've seen a couple of rabbits, singular rabbits. I haven't seen a bunch of rabbits. Though it's funny because rabbits multiply. You would think you would see like a bunch of rabbits, but no. Which means they're probably gonna nest. And we've had ducks kind of stay up in our yard. So yeah. So it's kind of fun. So being new to the whole Juneteenth thing, I haven't celebrated. I don't have a lot of um, friends from Black cultures. And I say Black cultures because it really is a culture and there really is a thing. And it's just, they can live like the next door neighbor can have a different culture than my parents had a different culture than I do. So, like a generational culture. So, they have like what it's done is it's created a culture based on the color of their skin and not where they're from, because we have people from Australia, Aborigines, who have been there like beyond forever, it seems like the you know beginning of mankind, who have lived in Australia, and they have dark colored skin, and if they came here to the U.S., I'm betting we would call them African Americans because it's the cultural thing to call them Africans Americans instead of Black or Australians Americans. Who knows? Or Aborigines, like, would know whether or not to call them Aborigines. I'm like, the what we don't know because we have been suppressed. So, U.S. is a suppressed culture. It suppressed its own people. So they colonized, and then they started teaching each other how to suppress the other person with lawns. That's fascinating. Like, oh, look at his lawn is 3 inches too high. Here, have a board, and then peer review. We can tell him or charge him or fine him for not having his yard cut. So, like, if they see one person cut the lawn, they see another person cut the lawn, and you can goad people into consumerism, the worst capitalist. Yeah. And then we don't teach our younger children about what we have at home because they're in school and then lots of people work. So between getting out of work, getting their children, maybe eat meals together, maybe have a bath time, then they have to get bath and get ready for, so you don't have much interacting with kids during the school year. Or you work so much and you put them in summer school and you put them in school all year round, and they basically live at school. So do we teach? What do we teach? So originally I had wanted this for my eldest children who live in another state with their father. That's cool to reach them and read stories to them, do something. They're like, oh, it has to do with parents. I don't want. That's not cool. But it'll be here for them when they decide otherwise. And just like to teach things like Juneteenth, to teach the atrocities of what happened to the people that were here before our, like, I'm like, yeah, I've got European ancestry. I've got, French. I've got Irish. I've got German. I've got, I don't have Dutch. I have Polish. My sister's got Dutch. I don't know what my brother has, but we do know there's English, Irish, French, which means there's probably Scottish in there, which is odd because they were at war for like practically at war. So there's, the British Isle, UK, there, and blonde hair, blue eyes. I would say Scandinavian. I should say, um, you know, so there's some kind of heritage over there. Check out. So obviously, I'm so many generations from here. So I'm American, North American, but I'm not Canadian, not, Central American. So what happened to the people? I mean, we the county we have is not Americanized English uh, term or word, or even French, because there's a lot of French um, placement in states around us, but like the French invaded, yeah. So, and then we've got like the churches. There's like we have like 50 churches. And I'm like, where's all the temples and the mosques? I drove one place and I was surprised to see what I thought could have been a mosque. I was like, we have one. Where has that been all my life? I grew up in this area. That might have been a temple. Who knows? So what happened to the people that had the land before this? What happened that we got to this point? And that used to drive me nuts. Like, I know. So I didn't educate myself growing up. So I didn't seek out this knowledge. I saw that because education, and I'm very careful about using the word education or to educate because that term seems to draw up school. But if you take the span of humanity, how much is civilized and how much of that has been in school? So we used to pass on our trade to our children, have our children go out into the world, go get their treasures, get cultivated, and come back. We don't do that. We don't do that. And I'm too poor to go out and go get cultivated. So I am sitting here going, give me as much culture and from as many different people as you can that, my hands can get on. Because it sucks that I can't go, say, to Italy. I can't go to, say, Africa to get a real education. Because they view, from what I'm told, from what I can gather in media, social media, and people that are from Africa, they view racism differently. So I need that culture to strive and to become more aware, to grow, to grow my character of who I am, not a character as in this a different person than who I am. No, to grow who I am as a person. That's me, not like a character, like a person in a book, but a third dimensional person, a life that in my life. So I would love to abolish slavery. I would love to abolish um, the need for slavery. It's not really a need. Where slavery made sense, whatever it was that made slavery make sense, if you get rid of that, you can abolish slavery so much easier. But I'll tell you, slavery has been around for a long history. And it wasn't just blacks being enslaved by the whites. That's recent. And it reminds me of Neo? Yeah. That horrible emperor who burned his slaves just to have reading light. I mean, that wasn't why he did it, but the inhumane treatment of a person simply because they were slaves. Not every culture did that. The fact that the U.S. introduced the imaginary sub-worth idea of inhumanity, that is the most harmful thing we could have ever done to ourselves. Ever. To subpar or to sub a underneath us or hierarchy or any life form is not acceptable. Don't do it. But lately, the more I view it, culture is a very picky word because it's not being presented as well as it could be in the US. And I'm not going to get into that, even though that would probably bring up a lot of inquiry. What do you mean it's not being presented as it's not but we will get through this. and we will hopefully improve our lives, the lives of those around us, in a healthy, symbiotic manner rather than a parasitic relationship. It's important. Yeah. My whole day right now, I woke up late, so I'm getting ready to go ahead and go log off to get breakfast started, get the kids going so that they don't miss their so they don't sleep through their summer. My youngest had me, she wanted to curl her hair and she wanted to use a curler. And I'm like, but it damages, so we're growing our hair out and it damages the hair to do the heater and it could damage, I remember being burnt by the curling iron. Yeah, no. So I suggested, like they did what in I think the 50s, I took a shirt and I cut it up that I can't fit in, and I cut it up into strips, and I put her hair in it. I twisted some of the later. I started trying to just roll up her hair, and I twisted some of her hair and rolled it into the cloth, and I tied the cloth. So these strips, they used to look like bed sheets, and it was got her hair all done up except for her bags. And then she went to bed. I'm curious to see how she looks this morning. So I am gonna let you guys go, and I might put that on TikTok or something, or make a YouTube short on her channel. Yeah, her channel is private, so yeah, because she's been on here. I don't know. It was just yeah. So the squirrels, the little gray squirrel is getting brave. And then there's two black squirrels, and one's getting devoted into getting breakfast out of the ground. Wonder what all they eat. But yeah. All right. I love you. Love you guys. I love you guys so much. And I hope you guys are doing well. So until next we meet, have a good one.